Hello. How's it going, people? Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. And I'm not sure what to say even. Genuinely not sure. Okay, first things first. Hope everyone's doing great. Hope everyone's having a great day despite whatever is happening in the transfer window at the moment. Hope everyone's feeling good. Nobody's having a rough time and everything. Really hope you're doing great. And now back to reality. Arsenal. Transfer deadline day. What are we actually doing? Like, legitimately, what the hell are we doing? What are we doing here? This is genuinely embarrassing. Embarrassing, pathetic. Quote unquote, to be honest, Edu should be sacked. There's no argument about that. But it's getting to a point where it's unbearable. It's genuinely unbearable. Seen lots of stories over Twitter since this morning, since yesterday, in the last few days. We've been linked in the last 2 days with not more players, but for players more heavily than we've been linked throughout this whole transfer window. Genuinely, we've been linked with much more with certain players, and it already is insane. Insane. We have signed a center back / left back. Haven't seen how he plays, so have to wait on that. We have signed a midfielder who already is injured, by the way. Yes, Merino is already injured. And we have signed, well, Raya, technically. And we have signed Norberto Neto. Norbit. We got rid of Eddie Nketiah. To be honest, we still haven't gotten rid of Eddie Nketiah. He hasn't been announced by Palace, by the way. Just wait. 2 minutes till transfer deadline shuts down. Bang! The deal has fallen through. Eddie is staying at Arsenal. Calling this now, there is a possibility of that. Genuinely. Because this is... I don't know what to say. I genuinely don't know what to say. I'm trying to be calm. I'm trying to be somewhat rational with all of this. But I don't see anything. I genuinely don't see anything. And big up everyone in the chat. Big up Pepper in the chat. This transfer window has been a farce, to say the least, to be honest. Big up TB in the chat. Spooky. It's not just spooky times. It's kind of speechless, not gonna lie, as well. I said this stream, I was going live. Before the stream, I was walking to the mall, coming back, did some shopping, and I was thinking, how do I do this? Like, how do I objectively try and stay calm? Also, big up Nick in the chat. How I try to stay calm, objective, and not genuinely sound like the most negative person in the world. But to be honest, there isn't a way. Like, legitimately, there isn't a way for me to sit right here, right now, look at everything that's happening in this transfer market, in this transfer window in the last few hours that have been left, and say, stay positive. Genuinely. It's been about 4 hours since Arsenal has said Arsenal with signing Neto, everything is done. Everything's done and dusted. Arsenal are not signing anyone. How can I be positive about this? Edu has the nerve when he was in the USA to tell us, wait till the end of transfer window. You won't be disappointed. You will be excited. Josh 4 years ago says, get ready, you will be excited. Excited for goddamn what? Genuinely, excited for goddamn what? We have spent nearly, well, 700 nearly million gross. I'm not talking net, but gross, not including sales, just to get back in top 4. And now that when we are this close, generally this close, signing 2-3 more players in the proper positions to properly go for the title, we decide to do nothing. It's the same that was under Arsene Wenger. It's the same happening now, legitimately. And there is no excuse for anyone. Edu should be sacked on the spot, genuinely. Josh Kroenke should go. The USA owners are the biggest farce there is. You get one of two basically perspectives. Either you get something you get with Arsenal, Liverpool, right? When you do nothing pretty much until you do everything to get in top 4. You have the revenue, UCL, and all that stuff. You get after that you do nothing. Or you get the other perspective, which is Chelsea, when they buy everyone they see in their eyes. That's it. There's no middle ground. Then you get Saudi owners, the Middle East owners, and you can see what's happening. Newcastle, well, not as much anymore, but still Newcastle, Manchester City. And then you get some proper owners as well, like, for example, Manchester United, who actually, in this transfer window, I'm not talking about signings in general, I'm talking about their overall overhaul of the squad, of the club, have had 20 out of 10 window. Basically what they have done. Genuinely, it's actually insane. I don't know what to say. I legitimately don't know what to say. Damn, the chat is going wild. Many tweeters are catching on to the early prediction of top 4 battles. That's the thing. If you think about it, we have gone rid of what? Emil Smith-Rowe, Fabio Vieira, Eddie Nketiah. No replacements for them whatsoever. No replacements. We have strengthened the best defense in the league already. And we have signed a midfielder, who by the way already is injured. Gabriel defensively on training fell onto him and he has fractured his shoulder. He's out for a month or so. A few weeks it said. It means he will be back after international break, which means there's no chance in hell he's going to play against Spurs. No chance he's going to play against City. Only after that, maybe even, if he's back by then. Tomiyasu, nobody knows when the hell he's coming back. Jesus, nobody knows when he's coming back. They say few weeks, and stuff like that. But let's be real, we don't know what's going on there. We still have Nelson at the club. I read reports today. Reason why Reece Nelson hasn't left Arsenal is because of his wages. Again, Edu masterclass. Edu, Garlic, and all them dumbasses up there. Sack them all. Genuinely, sack them all. Do what United did. Sack the board, sack Edu, everyone. Because this transfer market, no chance on hell you can put it on Arteta. Because he has set the players he wants. Edu, Josh, Stan, Garlic, and the rest of the gang just can't do their job. We have a plan A who go to after. Do we even have the plan A we go after? Technically we do, but plan B, there's no plan B. What are we doing in this window? You think we are not making top 4? Really? I think our squad is good enough to make top 4 for the next 2-3 years. But if United and FSG, not FSG, but Glazers? Yeah, Glazers actually start, not Glazers, FSG. Liverpool, FSG, I think, yeah. Actually start doing things for Liverpool. They are overtaking us. To be honest, Liverpool are not far from overtaking us. Yes, they need players in certain positions, but overall, they have a decent squad. At some point, they're going to click this season. It's going to look mad. United, if they click at the moment, it's going to be wild. Chelsea, I don't know how to say about this, but Chelsea, for example, they have a Ferrari attack with Volkswagen Passat midfield and rusty Fiat 500 from the 1920s backline. Okay, cool. But still, how is this happening? How is this happening? The thing is, just like TB said here, Liverpool is a DM away from passing us. If they signed Zubimendi, actually, just really, if they signed Zubimendi, they're getting the second. They're getting second place without shadow of a doubt. They're overtaking us. They have the depth, we don't. Big up Naga Gunner channel in the chat. Big up, big up, big up, big up. Now let's see what else you're saying. I'm so disappointed, I'm crying, like how can I... That's the thing. We are not winning anything this year, let's be real. We are not winning anything. We are not winning anything. And by the end of the season, what's gonna happen? Edu is gonna still be here. Next season we go again. Oh, we're gonna try signing a striker, which we most likely won't. We haven't signed a striker since Aubameyang. Arteta hasn't signed a striker in general. He's gotten rid of all the players, but he hasn't signed anyone to replace them. Now we have gotten rid of 4 players, which we haven't replaced. Because if you think about this, we signed... How to say it? We got rid of Granit Xhaka. We signed Havertz for the midfield. It didn't work. We pushed Havertz up top, right? He scored some goals, yada, hit some sort of form basically for the second part of the season. Now we've spent 32 million on Merino to replace the 65 million pound signing in Havertz. Then we push Havertz on top. We basically replaced, now we are not signing a striker. We bought Havertz in the midfield, who is now replaced by Merino, who we have pushed up top to not to sign a striker basically. So where does that make sense? Where does that make sense? Which club operates like this? Which club operates like this? Who's your top 4? Man City first. Arsenal, I think, still will get the second, most likely. Liverpool will gonna get third. And the fourth place, if it clicks, genuinely, it's United. I can see that. If Chelsea get Osimhen, they could easily come above us. Basically, Chelsea next year, this season, will be a team who will get peppered on occasion, let's be real. But most of the time, they will have mad scorelines by the looks of things. They will win about 4-2, 5-1, stuff like that, but they will get done over like 1-5 as well. But they will play some rock and roll type of football. Because the attack can afford them to do that. Their defense is shocking, but attacking wise, they're actually pretty solid. They're very good. They have very good attack. And now if they get Osimhen, it's getting curtains. It's done and dusted. Edu needs to be sacked. Get him the hell out of the club. Big up Kirtan in the chat. Gronodalf, it's yours, you know, for a comment. Why did we believe we would sign good attacker? That's the thing. I never believed so. I talked about the links. I thought that it would be great. I thought I wanted them. I wanted to sign a striker. But to be honest, the more it went on, and about mid-July, late July, it clicked for me. Arteta has never signed a proper striker. We still haven't replaced Aubameyang. And he doesn't actually know how to coach a striker. If you think about it, Arteta actually doesn't know how to coach a striker. Because he never has had one proper one. Even at Manchester City, yes, you can say they had Aguero. But at the same time, many times they played Mahrez at that number 9 spot. They played other players, or Grealish even played there. So most of the time they played wingers at that number 9 spot. Many times. So by at the time when Arteta was more or less there at the prime time of City, they actually didn't have a proper striker. They had some number 9s and a striker technically. And that also is a weird one, because now Arteta leaves, they get a striker, Arsenal don't get a striker. But there's also the fact that Arsenal have tried to sign strikers like Vlahovic. There was a time. Obviously Seško. Who else? We have been linked with quite a few strikers over the time, but it has never materialized. Like, never. So when it's gonna materialize? When will this manager understand that we need a striker? To be honest, I cannot say he doesn't understand that we need a striker. Because I think Arteta knows we need a striker. It's just the incompetent buffoons cannot do the job. It's actually funny how when you have a pool and you have a name in the marketing and everything, you actually can do the job in sporting director's department. Edu has no pull. Genuinely. He cannot pull shoelaces open. He cannot even do that. He only thing he can pull is the barbecue to open it. That's it. That's the only thing he knows how to pull. Maybe he can't even do pull my finger joke properly. He can't do anything, right? Genuinely. It's actually insane. Genuinely insane. Currently Man City, Liverpool, Chelsea, probably Arsenal, but it will be close. I think Arsenal still gets top 2. I think Arsenal still get the second place just because in the last few years we have gotten more quality in the starting 11. The thing is, if we get hit with injuries, we're instantly screwed. No Saka replacement, no Odegaard replacement. We don't know what's gonna happen if again Saliba gets injured. Will the wheels fall off again? Not to mention the fact that at the moment, tomorrow we play Brighton. We are going in the game against Brighton with one striker, which is actually not even a striker, which is Kai Havertz. And now Havertz gets injured. Who's gonna play up top? Like, for example, who's gonna play there? Trossard? Martinelli? Who? We don't have another striker. Because, I don't want to say this, but this could genuinely come to the last minutes of transfer window where Arsenal just pull the plug on a D deal and say, no, we want to keep him. We don't have a striker, we need him. It's actually insane. Been saying this, that Edu guy. Exactly, he cannot get the job done. When it actually matters, he cannot get the job done. Wasted money. About 8-9 goalkeepers signed while Arteta has been here. About 12 to 15 defenders signed while Arteta has been here. Few midfielders, 3 attackers. That's it. Nothing else. And now we are sitting here and what we gonna do? Generally, everything is going into meltdown at the moment. And to be honest, it stands to a reason why. Because we have done nothing. We haven't done anything good enough in this transfer market. The thing is, the money we have gone, those 600-700 million, whatever it is, right, is actually, in my opinion, enough for Arsenal to win the title. Genuinely, in the last 2-3 years, it was enough, especially last year. The only thing is, we have spent it poorly. Signing insane, like random players like Lokonga, Fabio Vieira, and stuff like that. Because if you put that money together, it comes to about 200 million nearly. Easily could have signed a backup for Saka. Easily could have signed a proper striker. Easily. I'm still gonna bang the drum until it basically runs dry or it breaks. Don't sign Havertz last year. 65 million for Havertz, plus 10 million on top of that, gets you Madison and Kudus. And now in this window when we sit, right, we need to sign a striker and maybe another midfielder, and that's it. You could say left back, okay, cool, but that's it. Kudus can play right wing / number 10, easily. We have secured everything. Like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? Have a look at how we have played against Wolves. Low block for 20 minutes. Look at what Chelsea did to them. The thing is, Chelsea on you can get a Chelsea. That's the biggest thing. Chelsea will score. The thing is, defensively, they cannot hold up. They lost 2-1 to Servette yesterday. 2-1 to Servette yesterday. Let's be real. Nothing to boast about that as well. Although, looking at Arsenal, we tend to lose to Southamptons and Fulhams and Nottingham Forest when they are in Championship, so I cannot talk too much here, to be honest. Wolves and Villa should have scored. Yeah, easily. Villa should have won the game. By default, Villa should have won the game. The best player in that game, to be honest, was Ollie Watkins, the best Arsenal player. He missed 2 with pretty much clear-cut chances. Credit to Raya on the second one. He made incredible world-class save on that. Let's be real. Last year, defense bailed him out. Now he's bailing out the defense massively in the beginning of the season. But the first goal he missed, the empty net he missed, should have been 1-0 Villa. They instantly would have gone to low block. And we all know how Arsenal do against low block. We have seen it before, last year in Champions League, even in Premier League last year. We have seen it, how that game ends for Arsenal. I think we'll finish third with no trophies. 2 key injuries away from 4. Yeah, Saka and Odegaard out. To be honest, if Saka and Odegaard get injured at the same time, even for a month, right? It's done. Legitimately done to the maximum level. Especially with the fact, if it happens, for example, during Boxing Day or the Boxing Week, when we have about 4 or 5 games in 2 weeks, something like that. It's done. It's genuinely done. And we all know that Arsenal cannot keep consistent level throughout the whole season. We have ups, and then we have massive downs as well. We saw that last year in December. We went 1-7 last year in December. And that was when we had pretty much everyone healthy, and we had the best players available. We couldn't finish our dinner at that time. And now everyone said, if we sign a striker, some of those chances we convert, we win those games. Even Arteta said last year in January, this year even in January, he said, oh, we create a lot, we just cannot put the ball into the net. Yes, we need a striker, but I trust my guys to do the job. How can you rely on that? How can you rely on that? It just makes no sense. It's early days and I'm not liking the look of our underlying numbers. Yeah, I know exactly. It is early days. Defensively, we are sound. Let's be real. Defensively, we are more or less solid. Right? Even if Saliba goes out for a week or so, or 2 weeks, we have players to put in the place. And most of the time, we won't be playing teams that would expose us like that. Right? But if it's a long-term injury, it comes into a crunch time, for example, no thanks. No thanks. Midfield is two. Merino is now injured, right? We are 1 injury away in midfield to having semi-crisis in a way. If Partey gets injured, we are done in midfield. We have to play Jorginho and Rice with no backup, no one coming off the bench. Attack-wise, oh my goodness, if 2 players get injured, we have no attack, basically. Oh, this is insane. This is intense. So many comments. I love this. So many comments. I love you guys for that. Thank you. Keep interacting in the chat. I'm gonna try and read all of them. What can I say? We ain't winning the league. That's easy already. Can we win a cup? Maybe, but who knows? Arteta doesn't like to win the cups, you know. We can put in Arteta as well. He's involved in the transfer team, and he says, to be honest, I think Arteta has said who he wants. He has said his plan A, plan B, and plan C most likely as well. Because Arteta is micromanager, he definitely has some sort of plans in plan B, C, D, E, F, G on the transfer market. The thing is, we just cannot get it over the line. Yes, it's also interesting that we haven't, since Nico Williams, we haven't been with no wingers besides Sterling at the moment. There were some talks about Bakayoko, but there were no concrete links in that. Yilmaz as well, no concrete links in that, just a rumor. So, genuinely, if you said me in the beginning of the transfer window, right, that our signings this transfer window were supposed to be, we are going to sign Calafiori, Merino, and Neto on loan, right? I would have legitimately went to you and punched you in the face. 3 months later, it's actually a reality. How mad is that? How mad is that? Yeah, I won't say Liverpool are a better team than us, but if they get injuries, they are done. At the moment, Liverpool, well, it depends, to be seen. Goalkeeping, they have better. Center back wise, we have better pairing. Individually, you could say they have better one center back. Left back, well, it depends, to be seen. Right back wise, I would say we have a better defense overall right back. They have more attacking right back. Midfield wise, we have better midfield. Even though it, as weird as it sounds, we have a better midfield. Let's just say Rice, Partey, Odegaard is a better midfield than they have at the moment. Attack wise, yes. Attack wise, we can go toe to toe with them more often than not. But the thing is, in the attack, they have more creativity than us. And that is a big issue. That is something we don't have in our attack. Creativity. Yeah, but that's Gravenberch. He's not that kind of a level guy. If they sign Zubimendi, I would put them very strong contenders for number 2 spot. I'm not gonna lie. I would have put them there. I think Liverpool already clear of us. Our battle is now with Chelsea. No. Not yet. Not yet. We will see how it goes when we play them when we play them at Emirates. We'll see how it goes then. Let's see. Oh, the storm winter had already come way too early. It's gonna be very cold, and the December, like November, December games will hit different this year. Genuinely will hit different. Not to mention the fact that Champions League drags out into mid-late January. The group stage alone. That is gonna be a nuts one. We only spent 70 million on attack on... Exactly! Only 75 million on attack under this regime. Generally 45 for Jesus, 20 something, 28, 25? I don't remember, 25. Let's just assume for Trossard, and 3 million on Marquinhos, who should have been free. That's it. Genuinely, that's it. In 5 years, that's it. That's all the things we have signed in our attack. You want to try push Havertz there, but Arteta signed him as a midfielder. In interviews, said himself he sees him as a midfielder. He is a midfielder. But when shit hit the fan last year, he just had to stick him up top and see he had to find a way to justify wasting 65 million. And somehow he found a way, because Havertz actually hit some form, he scored some goals, and when he was playing at number 9, he actually was doing some things. I'm not gonna lie. Will it happen this year? God knows. God the hell knows. Trust me, if I have some injuries that Liverpool had last season... Yeah, to be honest, if we get ridiculed by injuries, which is also a big possibility because last year we didn't get any injuries whatsoever, we are dusted. Because this injury drought, per se, cannot last. I don't think we are going another season with no injuries to our main guys whatsoever. We don't have the depth, we don't have the backups at the moment. We sold and loaned them all out. As bad as they were, right? Still sold and loaned them out. We have now nothing. Odegaard gets injured, Ranieri has to play. Saka gets injured, we have to play Nelson there, most likely. Who else could get injured? If Raya gets injured, Neto has to play. And to be honest, Bournemouth fans are celebrating they got rid of Neto, because he cannot even catch a cold properly. Although they got Kepa, so it's not a best of trades, but it is what it is. People don't realize how quickly positions can change. A couple of years ago, Tottenham were regularly finishing above us. To be honest, we balled top 4 to them. It was just 3 years ago. We should have finished 4th. We had to get 2 or 3 points out of 5 games, and we even balled that. And that was 3 years ago. So yeah. Some of the players look fatigued. Is it due to Euros and everything? Definitely. But some players already look kind of tired, I'm not gonna lie. Arteta didn't know the role of how to use pure number 9 under Pep. Yeah, he didn't, to be honest, because they got a proper pure number 9, Haaland, like, let's just say Haaland, Vlahovic, Lautaro Martinez type of player, right? Only after he left. Coincidence? Yeah, you could say yes, but you could say also no. Depends on you how you view the point. Because if Pep would have taught Arteta how to utilize number 9, I think genuinely we would have gotten Vlahovic. We would have pushed harder to sign Vlahovic, maybe even Šeško, maybe someone else. We would have pushed harder because Arteta would know how to use them. Because we haven't seen a proper attacker in this system under Mikel Arteta. We haven't seen. Genuinely, we haven't seen. The only time we saw Aubameyang and Lacazette was when Arteta played 3/5 at the back and they were playing left wing backs and CDMs half the time and we were hitting them on the counters. Rest of the time, none of that. Legitimately none of that. As soon as he got the money, he started to implement his own tactics, his style. Everyone had to disappear. Oh, cool. Need more long range shots too. To be honest, yeah, we are scared to shoot from distance. We are so scared to shoot from distance, it's actually wild. Because we genuinely never do. Not Odegaard, Trossard does it on occasion when he comes on as a sub. And to be honest, Odegaard shoots from distance very rarely during the game. But when shit hits the pan, right? When it's about 10-15 minutes to go, and let's just say it's a draw or we're losing, all of a sudden, he starts to shoot from outside the box. Why? God knows why. Only then. And on top of that, we don't have any free kick takers. We don't know how to take direct free kicks. If we have a shooting place, we don't have one. Pepe arguably was the last one we had, the proper one, who could take them properly with some venom on the shot, with the curl and everything. Pepe was the last one. Still remember the 2 goals he scored against Lisbon Sporting. Like now, the last one was what, 2.5 years ago when Odegaard scored against Burnley or something like that. It was legit like 2 years ago. More than 2 years ago. Barbecuing. Pretty much, yeah. Only chance of winning the league if City gets... Exactly. Only chance for us winning at the moment is if City gets point deduction or they get instantly smashed out of the league. And the fact is, the judgment day for that comes, what? January, February, right? Early next year. Who knows? Will we be even close enough by then to that point deduction affect anything? Because by then even City can be 25 points ahead of us. They get 20 point deduction, they're still 5 points ahead of us. Who knows? And to be honest, I want to win the league. I really want Arsenal to win the league. But winning league that way is a bit scummy, I'm not gonna lie. Because the best way to prove that you are a top manager is to beat Pep. Straight on, head to head. Not having some random judges say, you cheated, you get 20 point deductions from like 10 years ago. That's one of the biggest things about this. Yes, I want Arsenal to win the league. I'll be happy if we win the league because there will be a mini asterisk, but nobody will remember that if that will be the case. But many fans that hate Arsenal outside the Arsenal fan base will use it as an excuse why Arsenal won the league. Only reason. But still, we win the league, nobody cares how. It's like players hesitate to... Yeah, it's like they see an open lane. Okay, now I have a chance to shoot here, but also if I look at Mikel Arteta, I think he may put me on scooping the wind's poop if I shoot here. So what I'm gonna do is pass back to the center back. Okay, done deal. Let's start again. Let's start the attack all over again. That's how it feels like half the time. Edu is mismanaging, definitely. This is appalling, genuinely. This is appalling, shambolic, painful, and it's very hard to watch at the moment. Arteta tells them who he wants, and he spaffed most of the money up the wall. To be honest, I think this transfer window, Edu has let everyone down. I don't think Arteta has wanted certain players that he have signed on some level. It has been like a plan C type of signing, which definitely wasn't on the cards, but he had just had to make amends with it. But for this window specifically, I am not blaming Arteta one single bit. Everything falls on Edu, Garlic, Manager, and that all that bunch up there, basically. In a way, yes. If you look at us overall, yes, for this window, no. Even in midfielders, beside from Odegaard and Fabio, rest are defensive type midfielders. To be honest, they are. Yeah. That's the thing. Odegaard and Fabio Vieira technically both count as attacking midfielders, number 10s. Technically. Well, Fabio can play also at right wing. Rest of them are box-to-box type of midfielders / number 6s who are more defensive minded. None of them are creative midfield types like Maddison, like Cazorla, in a way like Jack Wilshere, like Cesc Fabregas and stuff like that. If you think about it, to be honest, over the years, still haven't replaced Cesc Fabregas in that way. Haven't replaced Santi Cazorla. Took us 15 years nearly to replace Vieira when we signed Partey, and that has gone well. We have had now 4 years have passed and we haven't replaced Aubameyang still. It's peak. It's genuinely peak. It's peakums. Top 4 Bal maybe? Merino already injured. Yeah. Most likely it is a top 4 Bal. Because I cannot sit here after this window, look at this and say Arsenal are challenging for the title. No chance in hell. If you are thinking Arsenal are challenging for the title with this window, you need to look at yourself and get something checked. Because you can say everything. What has Man City done? How they haven't gone stronger? They don't need to get stronger. They're the winners. 5p. They're going for a 5p. For frick's sake. And on top of that, they only signed Savio, who looks like already a baller pretty much. Was watching La Liga last year. He was tearing it up at Girona. He basically looks like a Brazilian Mahrez region, more or less, just with pace. And he has very high IQ as well. He knows how to utilize the pace. Because besides most of the Premier League wingers, he doesn't rely on it. He knows when to use it properly. To get past the defender, to skill him, to leave him behind, and to create a chance. And on top of that, they signed Gundogan. They signed back Gundogan. Arguably the most clutch player City has had. Because he was the sole reason City won the titles, more or less, in the last 4 years, 2 times. When we were 8 points clear in season before. Only reason. Genuinely. Because the goals in some clutch situations he came up with to win 2-1. To start a goal-going comeback when they were, let's just say, 2-1 down to make it 2-2 and he scores and then everything falls. Opposing team loses 3-2 and stuff like that. Genuinely clutch to maximum extent. That is also very worrying. They have gone one of their most important players back. Plus, he doesn't need to adjust to the system. He doesn't need to be integrated into the team because he already freaking knows everything. Let's be real. Top 4 Bal. Yep, although it's been obvious since June, well, on no level. I think it's been obvious what we need. Anyone feeling... Nope. Nobody's getting... If anyone's feeling excited by this window... Oh, Dios mío, I'd rather not get into it. This window, for me, for Arsenal, is 2 out of 10. 2 out of 10. And only reason I'm saying it's 2 out of 10, we have done something. We have signed some players and we have sold some players. Only reason. If we sign Gyökeres, by the way, today, for example, right? It's not going to 8, it's not going to 9, it's going to be a 5. Because again, we are doing nothing. We haven't fixed any issues we had since last season. Everyone knows the issues. The only thing is Arsenal seems not to know them. Again and again and again. Savage was available for 30 minutes. Savage. Which Savage? Sergei Milenkovic Savage from Saudi? Or who? Or you mean Savio? Like, for example, Savio would never come to Arsenal because Girona is owned by Citigroup. But if you think about it, Dovbik, for example, went for 35 million. Tony just went for 40. Who else was there? There were quite a few strikers I was looking at, and we easily could have gone them. There was a reason. It stood to a reason that we get them. Even to some extent, Boniface, about 25 million easily we could have gone him. But yeah, it is what it is, I guess, at the end of the day. People aren't mentioning the third season syndrome that the players are likely to experience. Some of our players already look gassed. Rice, for example, Saliba. You kind of can write it off also for no preseason. You can write it off to that as well in a way. Genuinely, that's no excuse, but that generally stands to a reason since they went to the finals, semi-finals, quarterfinals of Euros and everything, and Copa America and stuff like that, and they just didn't train with the team. You can write it off to that easily, but the fact that they haven't had a proper time to rest, relax, they've been playing about 70 games a season, definitely starting to weigh on them, on some level for sure. Now quickly let me reset my camera, I think it's doing a bit of a madness, there we go. But yeah, it's definitely weighing on them as well a bit. I'm kind of sure of it as well. And we should have won again. Yeah, we should have won against Villa last year. We should have won against Fulham both times last year. We drew to 10-man Fulham last year when Zinchenko booted out the ball as coming on as a sub about a few minutes ago for unnecessary corner kick, which they instantly scored from. Paulinho scored from that. If we win that game, it's draw on points by the end of the season. And then it comes down to goal difference. We lost to Newcastle, we should have won it. We basically balled the league. I don't think against Aston Villa. We balled the league in December, basically. The draw against Fulham, the first one hurt, but the December one, 1-7, when basically we lost everything, was the reason. Mid, not low block, but all of them. Mid and low block, Arsenal can't do both of them. First 20 minutes of the second half was mid block. We're defending on the edge of our penalty. It is what it is, yeah. I think the teams will look at this and start to use it a bit more. Especially the teams that can hurt us on a counter. Genuinely, that will happen more. 100%. I wouldn't be surprised if tomorrow against Brighton, we don't actually smash them, but there is a scrappy game against them. I wouldn't be surprised the way they play against the new manager as well. Definitely Aston Villa will come back when we play at Emirates and try and take one over us. And everything. It's actually kind of wild. It is actually kind of wild. It's actually wild. 32 people watching, let's at least 50. To be honest, I don't think I will ever hit 50 people. Genuinely, I don't think ever. Because I will be labeled toxic, negative, not a real fan, and at some point someone will come in and say, go support Spurs, or something like that, 100%. I'm not that typical, everything's fine, trust the process, phase 6, boys, well, I'm not one of those people. We don't have attackers to compensate our mistakes, done defense like Seiko inside one response by scoring 2-3 goals, but we don't have the minerals in attack. At the moment, we are lacking in attack, definitely. Because last year when we were losing, Arteta was deploying same tactic over and over again. Throw every single attacker he has on the pitch and see what sticks. Genuinely, subbed on Nelson, Nketiah and everyone and was hoping for one goal. Happened against Bayern and before other ones. It's actually kind of wild. It is actually wild that there is no plan B if the plan A doesn't work most of the time. We don't even have a striker to sub on as a plan B. We have only plan A. KSC, Edu, all of them. Yep, they have failed. Genuinely have failed. The window where it matters the most, when it's basically all or nothing, is the window when they do nothing. This was the window and for this season. To win it all, to go for it, and to actually throw a proper challenge. Once again, to sign the right players you need and just go in for it. And again, we didn't do it, so top notch for that. Genuinely top notch for that. What a fan base, why are you so negative that we have not lost in the last 2 games? So what? So that doesn't mean I cannot call out what they have done, what they haven't done, to be honest, what they haven't done. That doesn't mean I cannot talk about the fact that we should have lost against Aston Villa, to be honest. We just lucked out a game. Because if Watkins, I 100% believe, if you play this type of game, a scenario, with the same situations against Villa for 10 games in a row in simulation, 9 out of 10 times Villa beat us. We just got lucky in one of those scenarios. Raya Miracle says how bailed us out twice. That's the thing. Last year, our defense was bailing us out massively on many occasions. Raya didn't have to do much. When his name was called upon, on certain occasions he bailed us, on certain he let us down. Let's be real. This season, at least in the beginning of the season, our defense has let us down, but Raya has pulled a rabbit basically out of the hat, as they say. 2 times now, against Strand Larsen, when it should have been 1-1, and now when it should have been technically 1-0 against Aston Villa. Now, what's going to happen in the next 36 games? Who knows? Because we cannot just rely on Raya to bail us out every single time our defense screws something up. Because it won't stick. It cannot stick throughout the whole season. Let's just say if this was a cup game, right? It's not that big of a deal, because in cup games it's one game out of a million when it happens. But in a season, when you get this every single game in a row, it cannot stick. In cup games, anyone can beat anyone. In season, it just shows what is what, where the proof actually is. Is it in the pudding or where it is? Arsenal are very poor in signing players. I'm not sure Arsenal are actually poor in signing players. The people who are in charge of signing players actually are poor. Because we overpaid for Rice, definitely. Overpaid for Havertz, whether you want him or not. Let's be real, 65 million for Havertz, massive overpay. And there are more and more and more. Remember how Liverpool were flying even with the 4 or 5 key injuries? What happens if we don't have injuries with those world-class players who have won things? That's the big thing. They beat us in the cup with more than half of their squad being their under 21s, pretty much. Like not like Kanash, Bradley, and players like that were playing, and they legitimately shut us down. Full on shut us down. And as well, that was also against Aston Villa. Matty Cash gets injured. Aston Villa sub on 18-year-old Nedeljkovic at right back. How many times Martinelli tried to take him on? How many times did he get past him? How many times did he try to cause trouble against him? Pretty much none. Pretty much none. He didn't do anything against such a young guy as well. And it's not just the fact that he didn't try it. He just didn't find a way to do it. Because there were options when he was legitimately one-on-one. He just didn't take them on. He just basically cut inside and then passed it into the midfield. He didn't try to get past him, didn't drop a shoulder or something like that. Because Martinelli either passes it back or puts his head down, drops the ball past defender, and more often than not, runs the ball out of the play. Many times now. And it's also getting on my nerves. And I think it's getting on Arteta's nerves. Because he has tried to replace Martinelli on multiple occasions now. And at some point the penny will drop. And I think Trossard's also getting pissed off of sitting out the bench when Martinelli is dropping stinkers. No matter what he says on social media. Honestly, without striker, no trophy. Yep, no striker, no trophy. The only guy that tries to shoot outside the box is Partey, but boy, he's shooting. He hits basically 1 in 50 shots. He takes 50 shots from outside the box, 1 goes into the net, the rest of the 49 hits a grandma in row Z, or hits about the pigeons flying over the Emirates most of the time. I'm surprised actually the London pigeon quota hasn't gone down because of that. I just want to win the league, doesn't really matter how we do it. That's also the case, to be honest as well. 20 plus years sitting here waiting for us to win the league again. And that shouldn't be the case. We should have won the league in these, what has been 20 years, right? We had a chance to win the league last year before that, when Leicester won it. I think once or twice before that. So we had 5 chances to win the league in these 20 years. And we didn't use any of those chances. We balled every single damn one. Why did we only get for? Well, that's a bit of a different one. Yeah, Arteta's footballing decisions on occasion are very questionable in the game and outside the game as well. By the way, we have money to hire pickpockets, to buy a dog, plant trees, fly to Dubai, eat someone else's guy's meat. Pause. Didn't came out right. But you know. And now we have the money to increase Arteta's salary nearly twice. Because his new contract, by the looks of things, looks like we gonna increase his salary twice. 2 times. Yet we don't have money to do anything else. We cannot sign, we cannot do anything. No signings for Arsenal. We signed today Norberto Neto, goalkeeper from Bournemouth, who actually cannot play for Arsenal in Carabao Cup because he played in that cup yesterday, which means he cannot play there for Arsenal. So, good job, Arsenal. Yeah, I thought you meant Linkers Savage. You can sign players from a club from City Group clubs, but you have to work a bit more. For example, got Arteta from Man City. We just have to sign players in general, first of all. And we should sign players that actually we need. Not sign players in positions that actually isn't a priority. Because for me, to be honest, I would have been happy if Arsenal signed a winger, backup for Saka, signed a striker, then went for a midfielder as the third signing like Merino, and on top of all that, signed even Kadioglu for left back. Because for me, the defense wasn't as such a big of a priority as it looks like Mikel Arteta has it to make it out to be. For me, the attack is the big issue. Because, let's be real, City has outscored us again last year, we just conceded less. But we need to score goals to win the games. And most of the games we lost came down to the fact we couldn't finish our chances. It fell to a winger, it fell to another player who under the pressure crumbles like a piece of paper. But if we have striker in that position, more chances than not, it is a goal. So it is what it is. Brighton should have more of the ball. I don't think at Emirates Arteta will allow that. He's a freak in that instance. They usually do. Yeah, they do, but I think this will be something very interesting and different. How much time we got? Pretty much none. Legitimately pretty much none. It shuts down in 4 hours. Window shuts down in 4 hours. Stern likely to stay at Chelsea. That Eddie recall at 10:37 p.m. is gonna be... Dude, it's gonna hit like a rock, genuinely. Out of nowhere, it's gonna be like, bang, and Eddie's staying at Arsenal. Yo, I know I'm joking around and everything, but if that happens... Can you imagine the meltdown? I think genuinely if that happens, the pitchforks will come out for tomorrow's game against Brighton. Everyone will get booed in the stadium, the pitchforks will start to come out. There will be protests and everything, 100%. I think at some point, penny will drop for the most Arsenal fans. It's already starting to drop slowly, but I think it's gonna drop even more. Is it still possible that Arsenal could go? Nope, there is no chance because, and here it is why, it's already been confirmed that, where is it? Here it is, I will show you. It already has been confirmed that Arsenal signed Norberto Neto, and after that it was being said that, where is it? Here we go. According to David Ornstein, Arsenal target Dan Bentley is set to stay at Wolves, who do not have time and source to replay. Arsenal do not have time to source a replacement at this stage. As things stand, no further incomings expected at Arsenal after signing Norberto Neto. Arsenal are not signing anyone. Arsenal are not signing bloody anyone. As it stands to the reason, by the looks of things. It's just a dream. You can hope, but when you... No, it is a dream. You can dream, but just close your eyes before you dream. Because if you're dreaming with your eyes wide open, you won't see anything. Don Ketsia Twitter account will be cooking the... I'm not fucking leaving. I'm not. Only announcement rumor and a rumor and rely on a rumor, nothing more. Exactly. Arsenal are linked with FC. We have been linked with about 200, not like 200, that's a bit exaggerating, but over 100 players this transfer window. We have signed 3 of them, and that's about it. 3 of them. 3% of signings were true. That is the big one. And we are linked FC. Arsenal have interest, concrete interest. Arteta is on fire for the player. Arsenal are exploring the option to sign. And all the PR words you want to decide that Fabrizio, Ornstein, ITK, everyone puts in these instances, right? And then that's it. And it stops there. It stops there. It takes a few days and it stops there. Why does this club also make me cry? Cry me a river. Sorry, I'm not Jay Timberlake, but you get what I mean. Anyways, let's look what's happening in the transfer world in general, because it's gonna hit like crack. Here we go. It's not even end of this transfer window, right? We are already talking about next year's transfer window. Arsenal have expressed interest in Anthony Gordon, but he is set to stay at Newcastle this summer. However, Edu Gaspar is a big admirer, another PR word, another that catchphrase of the winger, who features in a list of players identified as future targets. An AFC could make a move attempt next summer. So Arsenal are going potentially for Gordon already next summer. This window hasn't closed yet, but we are already linked for a player in 365 days. Already we have first link of the next year. Where does that happen? Where does that happen? Which club operates like this? None of the clubs have this. Yet Arsenal already are planning next summer. Next summer we are already linked with Gordon. I can guarantee you, next summer comes, there will be no links with Gordon. No links with Gordon next summer. 100%. Yeah, this was the way, by the way, today. Been sent this video by a source, Edu today apparently. Already on a barbecue, while everyone's signing and doing things. Anything else? Let's see. Wait, my bad. We have signed Alberto Neto. Espanyol just confirmed Arsenal didn't want to pay the full price. Obviously, Al Ahly are trying to sign Osimhen and Tony, but it looks like it's only gonna be Tony. Here is the thing. Arsenal transfer window this summer. £34 million for Calafiori, 28 million for Merino, Neto on loan, and you could add even Raya, but Raya was a last year signing, so you don't even add Raya to that. We have made 3 signings this summer. 3 bloody signings this summer. If I posted that in May, I would have had people swarming me for dooming and complaining and whining. The fact so many people are now saying that's a good window are comical. If you are an Arsenal fan who says that this is a good window and you rate it 10, like just say 8 out of 10, 7 out of 10, right? You need to check yourself. Because there's no chance in hell you could honestly look at this transfer business and say this is a 7 out of 10 window. Because for every other Arsenal fan who actually tries to keep the club accountable, it's 2 or 3 out of 10 window at best. Because we haven't done anything. Yes, we have sold some players. Have we replaced them? No. Have we replaced the players we need to replace? No. Have we addressed the issues we had when this window started? No. Have we addressed the issues we had before this window had opened? No. Have we closed the gap to Manchester City? No. Have other clubs gone closer to us? Yes. We have done nothing this window, basically. We have done nothing in this window. We just want one good strike, and I don't know why. That's the thing. Every single Arsenal fan knows we need a striker. Well, not everyone, because I have seen Arsenal fans saying we don't need a striker. Every single non-Arsenal fan see that we need a striker. And many of those non-Arsenal fans, Spurs, United, even Nottingham Forest and teams like that fans, are saying if Arsenal get a striker, they're in proper chance for winning the league, and that would make other teams look at Arsenal quite scary, because that would kind of put in extra fear from Arsenal, because we never have had a striker under Mikel Arteta, a proper one, and we still managed to score 90 plus goals last year. If we had a striker, not gonna lie, we would score about 97 to 100 goals. Because the chance we create and waste could go half of that, some of that would go to the striker. 100%. Dude, I rate this window 3 being on it. Yeah, exactly. For me, it's 2 out of 10. 3 maybe if you push it. Nothing more. Genuinely nothing more. We have done absolutely nothing in this transfer window. And on top of that, this whole day, we have been linked with Raheem Sterling, which at the end of the day, of course, didn't materialize because, well, Arsenal don't have money. There's Chidobe Martin issues. And the big thing is, Arsenal have no PSR concerns. Arsenal are able to do their business without worrying about the Premier League rules. Hello? Hello? We have no PSR issues. How comes we don't do any business then? How comes we don't do any business then? Like, this is actually somewhat embarrassing, somewhat pathetic. I'm not gonna lie, on certain levels it's actually laughable. Genuinely, it is actually laughable. And on top of all that, I'm gonna put this on the screen. This is what Edu Gaspar said to us. Be patient. You won't be disappointed at the end. Edu on the transfer window while speaking to the Arsenal fans. So, we have been patient. Are we disappointed or not? Yet people say that I'm negative, I'm toxic, I'm not a real Arsenal fan. Yet I'm reading this when Edu tells me to be goddamn patient for 3 months when we sign 3 players, who one of them is injured by the way now. Okay, cool, you cannot predict that, but it is what it is. We won't be disappointed. In which universe you can tell me that I'm not gonna be disappointed when everyone in there, I don't know even what to compare it to, but knows that we need a striker, backup for Saka, backup for Odegaard. We need attackers because we cannot score enough. We have attack is our issue, not our defense. The dog outside that's running right there, by the way, who has fleas. The fleas goddamn know that we need a striker. Yet Arsenal in that instance do goddamn nothing. This is actually insane. There are so many good options at striker market, but they decide to buy goalkeeper and more defenders and midfielders. Exactly, that's the thing. While Arteta has been here, we have signed 8 or 9 goalkeepers. Spent about 150 million on defenders, 200 million on defenders, including goalkeepers. We have spent about 200-300 million on midfielders. That's including Rice, obviously, but overall. Yet we have spent 76 million on attackers in 5 years while Arteta has been here. Signing only Jesus, Trossard, and Marquinhos, who should have been for free, but we threw 3 million just because we wanted to keep good relationships with Sao Paulo. Have we signed anyone from Sao Paulo since then? It's mad. Why it is behaving like my crush? You're just giving... Exactly. It's like that girl who's teasing you, but at the end of the day, oh no, I'm gonna go with that guy. Because he has a better car or something like that. Basically. Latest, 4 clubs interested in Reece Nelson. Oh yeah, amazing. Big up Henry in the chat. That's amazing. Sell Reece Nelson as well. So we have even less players in the club. Even though I would like for Nelson to go, I'm not gonna lie. But Arsenal cannot find replacements. So what's the point in selling certain players if you don't replace them? Fabio Vieira not replaced, Smith Rowe not replaced, Nketiah has not been replaced with better players. None of them have been replaced. That's 3 empty spots in the club now. Oh, but we promoted Skelly, we promoted Wanyeri. We have to now throw these teenagers into the Premier League, Champions League, by the way, as well, and other competitions, and basically tell them, sink or swim. That's about it. That's nothing else we can do. Sink or swim. That's about it. And who knows if they're gonna get even game time. Because Wanyeri hasn't got a proper game time in Arsenal yet. Skelly as well. Like, what are we doing here? Legitimately, what are we doing here? I guess they still got the charm of Nicola. To be honest, Nicolas Pepe at the moment at Arsenal would be perfect. And I kid you not, he would be perfect at Arsenal. In a way. He doesn't suit the system to the T the way we play. But he could actually work in this system. But Arteta didn't like him, so he binned him. We paid off his contract, let him go for free. Good money wasted, just like with Aubameyang. Good job with that, by the way. Now he's playing at Villarreal and balling out again for Villarreal. I was watching Villarreal play on the weekend. He nutmegged 2 people, crossed the ball across the defensive line, and his teammate scored. Pepe is balling out at Villarreal at the moment. I'm wondering how we can get replacements in 4 hours. We can't. We won't. Ornstein has already said Arsenal, after signing Norberto Neto, is the last piece of business. Sorry, my face cam has gone mad. Is the last piece of business Arsenal are going to do in this transfer market. Ornstein has already said that. Yes, we cannot take what he says as gospel, right? But at the same time, that is it. Looks like Arsenal are absolutely done in this transfer window. We are just trying to be a bit delusional at the end. Now, let's see. Let's generally look what Arsenal are doing today. Reiss Nelson is attracting interest from multiple clubs ahead of the transfer deadline, with Arsenal understood to be open to letting him leave. So, the big thing is, if we let Reiss Nelson go, are we signing anyone? Because if we'll even let Reiss Nelson go in the last hours, do we have enough time to sign anyone? 4 clubs are yet unnamed are interested in signing Reiss Nelson. Yet this, Ornstein, as far as I know, Arsenal incoming business is done. So if we sell Reiss Nelson, would you say there's an argument to be made that Arsenal are actually going to sign anyone? Because only reason I would allow Reiss Nelson to leave, even though I want him to leave, is if we sign a replacement. A proper replacement. Not just someone who is Reiss Nelson 2.0. Another bum who we will loan out and try to sell for minimum wage in 2 years. Because if you sell someone, you need to replace him with a better player. Not the same type of player who will do the same things. You might as well keep the first one in the first place then. Like, that is the big question now. Okay, cool. Everything and that Arsenal are open to sell. But are we going to sign anyone then? I'm just hoping they do something like they did with Ozil. Like with Ozil or what they did with Thomas Partey in the deadline day. Drop the bag on the, as the what's its face, as release clauses, just paid them and took Partey from Atletico Madrid. Something like that. Maybe, but I don't think Arsenal are going to do so. Unless they just drop the bag on Gyökeres in the next 2 minutes. I don't even know. What is Fabrizio saying? What is Fabrizio saying? Gertrudia for Leipzig. Sancho. United insist on their conditions be met. However, with salary coverage out of the green light Sancho deal. Agreement Sancho Chelsea done. Agreement Chelsea United not yet. Nabil Fekir has moved to Al Jazeera. Mad. Okay. Mangala, McTominay to Napoli, signed between all parties. Chelsea and Ipswich Town are in advanced talks for Mando Broja. Nottingham Forest reject of Newcastle for Elanga. Aguero to Real Sociedad by the looks of things. Nothing else. Nothing else. Nothing else. Let's see what is happening. Transfer news. Valencia have signed Berenetto and Aston Villa on loan. The feeling at the moment is that Osimhen could stay at Napoli somehow. Holy crap! He's actually not going to Saudi. Yo, Arsenal, you have the money? Pay it, don't I? Come on, pay it. Pay it, pay it, pay it, pay it. It looks like that's about it. Leicester are exploring a late move for Eduard. That's why they signed Nketiah. Bang! Who has been available by Crystal Palace. Only reason why I am joking around, by the way, about Nketiah deal getting the plug pulled off by Arsenal is the fact that Glasner has said that there's no chance Nketiah is gonna play for Crystal Palace this weekend. That's the only reason. I think the deal will be done, but if I somehow have called it and there's, let's just say, 10 minutes left in transfer deadline day. In the last hours, Arsenal pulled the plug on the deal and Eddie stays at Arsenal. Oh, Dios mío. I don't even want to think about what's gonna happen then. Genuinely don't want to think about what's gonna happen then. It will be actually kinda insane if you think about it. Victor Gyökeres would be a great... Exactly! We have to play against Gyökeres, by the way, in Champions League. We have to go play Sporting away. Remember last time we spent Sporting away when we drew the game and with a lucky own goal from the defender. Remember that? And we are now going to play against Gyökeres if we don't sign him or someone doesn't sign him. He's staying at Lisbon and we're going to play against him. Well, if he doesn't get injured, obviously. But in general, we will play against him. 100% he will score against us. I have no shadow of a doubt in my mind about that. But yeah, that could actually could be different. And I believe he will. He will. Well, I have seen that player playing. He's a beast, man. Yeah, that's the thing. He got a surgery during the summer break. He came back from injury, had few trainings with the team. First game, bang, hat-trick. Season starts, bang, hat-trick, bang, 2 goals, bang, assist, bang, 2 goals. Instantly, he's in this insane form and in the same form. It's actually wild in what good of form he is. Yet Arsenal, this whole transfer window, basically have been sitting around, twiddling their thumbs, and basically have done nothing. 2 out of 10 window. Thank you, Arsenal. Thank you, Edu, for this pain throughout these 3 months, nearly 2.5 months. Well, good luck with that. And on that note, I'm gonna end it here. Thank you guys so much for chilling. Thank you so much for being here. You have been fan-freaking-tastic. Big up everyone in the chat. Have a good day. Stay strong, not gonna lie. Try to stay away from Arsenal for today. Tomorrow we play Brighton, see how that goes. Take care, stay safe. You have been fantastic. Edu out.